Hey, what's up, guys? It's Dan from UnitedQ. It's Wednesday, which means we have another awesome podcast to get you over hump day. I'm here with my co-host, Barbecue Forte.
Hello.
And we are brought to you by ProQ, BBQ Gourmet, and Smokewood Shack, our awesome sponsors. ProQ is dedicated to providing with quality smoking products with top-notch service and free advice for beginners to pitmasters, and you can find them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram under ProQ Smokers. So if you think about buying your first smoker or looking to upgrade or even looking to pick up some epic accessories, check them out over at maxbarbecue.com. Barbecue Gourmet is devoted to promoting real barbecue and supplying the UK and Europe with top championship-winning barbecue rubs, sauces, marinades and accessories from the US and around the world. You can find them on Twitter and online under Barbecue Gourmet. Regardless of how you cook, whether it's on charcoal, wood, gas or electric, the real taste of barbecue can be yours all year round. And hello, on today's show...
It's a bit different today.
Slightly different. It's just me and Ben. So if you want to stop listening now, then just hit the stop button. But don't do that.
Don't do that. This is a show through popular request that we've got a lot of listeners that are very deep in the barbecue world, but we've also got lots of new people that are getting into barbecue and they don't always understand all the terminology that all us pros dabble around with. Not referring to myself as a pro there, but
yeah, I think he was trying to, but he's not.
So we thought we'd go back to basics today and just talk through exactly, like, take back to the beginning, start off with the like charcoal versus gas, go through all the different types of barbecues, different fuels that we might use, different
this
ways
is
to
like
lay it
UnitedQ's like startup guide to barbecue, basically.
Exactly. We could call it that.
We think we've just come up with a name.
Awesome. So we're going to go through everything.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but it was me who came up with that really good name there. So
I think we already had it written down. You've just read it off there.
No,
we haven't. Right, so let's kick off with the like very beginning, I guess, like charcoal versus gas. We've both got strong feelings about this, but I think it's only fair that we go through the like pros and cons of both of those, really. So, charcoal. Should we start there?
Gas. Right.
What do you want to go through?
I don't know. Like, I just want to basically say that I guess most of the time, like when we've sort of been growing up around barbecue, you probably started around a charcoal grill, and then I guess like around the sort of early 2000s, gas became like really popular, and like that big gas unit that everyone wanted, like that be all and end all, like big. Do you know what I mean? The big barbecue with
still
like hot
a lot
plate.
of them around, isn't there?
Still loads of them around, and they're really good bits of kit. But they became like the cool thing to have, and the sort of charcoal almost died a death, I suppose. Or in
it was
my
the
eyes,
hassle thing,
you just
wasn't
didn't see it. Yeah, everyone wanted life to be easy, and you could just turn on a gas grill, and there you go.
So if we're going through gas, and I guess that was one of the key things that made it good was convenience, isn't it? It's just. You can go over there, light it up, and away you go.
There's no waiting on the
involved,
charcoal sort of lighting and then the grill coming up to temperature and stuff like that. It is just a case of turn a few knobs, not Ben. Turn a few knobs up to a certain temperature, and then just keep an eye on the thermometer.
Yeah,
and that's it, really.
The gas ones are pretty easy to clean as well. You don't have all the mess of charcoal afterwards that you have to clean out. So you can
ash.
No, you just turn it on, get it fired up, shut the lid and burn everything off, which is a similar approach, I guess, in the charcoal one, but you've still got all that ash left at the end that you've got to do something with. Sprinkle it on your garden.
Oh, jazzy. So,
gas is generally more expensive, though, to be honest, as well. Like the high-end barbecues that you get in a gas way are usually more expensive, and buying gas bottles is probably... I don't know if I've never done the calculation to work out what's more expensive. The initial outlay when you've got to buy the bottle and stuff is a bit pricey, but after that it does actually last ages. I had a gas bottle that lasted me probably 2 summers when I had one.
And most places, like once you've bought the gas bottle, all it is then buying for the refill of gas. So you just take the gas bottle back to your local sort of either gas providers, some supermarkets, petrol stations, and you can just swap it for a full one and just pay the price of the gas to fill it up again. So I do think that, again, like if you're wanting good quality charcoal, which I always advise, we'll get onto that later, but you do it does cost a bit of money. So I would actually probably say that the actual sort of running costs of a gas will probably be less, but
your
your initial outlay tends to be, if you want a really good gas unit, tends to be a lot of money. Yeah.
Smoky though, if you wanted to smoke food, you can do it in gas.
Yeah,
if
you
get,
can
like,
do
little
it.
Boxes and stuff, can't you?
Yeah, you get the boxes. Also, if you want to avoid the boxes, you can just use a bit of tin foil, wrap a bit of tin foil up, put some chips in there.
Yeah.
You can sit that just directly on top of the gas bits, or even on top of the grill if you want to. And I even know people that have put chunks on onto just directly onto the gas, like the gas hob, whatever they're called, gas outlet, where the flame comes out. So you can just use smoky woods there as well. So yeah, there's the potential to smoke, and obviously if there are some gas barbecues only have one knob, one nozzle, one adjustment. But if you have more than one adjustment, you can actually do your two-zone cooking. You can actually set up indirect, direct, and stuff like that. So there's a potential to do the whole 9 yards with the gas grill, as long as you've got more than one knob that controls an area of the barbecue. And so yeah, you can do a whole host of things with them. They're great bits of kit. But I think we are going to draw a line under gas barbecues there. Are we?
Well, you're going to buy one now, are you?
No, that's why I'm going to draw a line under it there, because I just don't really personally believe in them. I know, like, people, for instance, Richard Holden, big fan. Or big fan, they have their purposes, they serve the purpose. And I sort of agree, they do serve the purpose, and I have nothing against... That's probably a slight lie. I have nothing really, really against people who are using gas barbecues.
The people or the barbecues?
Okay, let me rephrase that. I have nothing against gas barbecues. I'm just going to say that. I'm going to end it there.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with them.
Nothing
it's just we prefer what we talk about now, which is like the charcoal. And yes, it's a little bit more complicated maybe to like control your temperatures and stuff with charcoal. With a gas, you can turn it to your set place, and you always know that it's turned to that place will get it to the same temperature, whereas in the charcoal world, we've got a bit more technicality there of controlling our airflow in and how we position the coals and all of that sort of thing. So it
makes you... One of the things about barbecue you need to do is get to know your smoker. So I think, obviously, getting a charcoal smoker makes you do that, because you need to learn how to bring up the temperature, when you need to start closing what vents, how many vents, how much charcoal to use with that particular smoker, how much charcoal to light, and just so many different variables. But once you get to know your smoker, you know your smoker, and now I know exactly how much of a chimney full I need for how much temperature, how much charcoal I need for what sort of temperature I want to get, for how long I cook, where I open my vents to, and it's sort of like back in my hand. I sort of know.
I guess flexibility on temperatures as well is probably more, isn't it? Because you can get really, really hot if you put like a load of coal and open all your vents up. It's potentially like hotter than you could turn your gas up to full. There's not much more you can do there, is there? But if you actually really wanted to go for it with something like this, you can do that. And likewise, the other way around, if you want it to be a very, very low temperature, you could put a very few amount of coal in, perhaps lower than you could go. So it's definitely got more flexibility, I think, on both ways there.
A full range of prices we've got is another positive here. So you can sort of pick up a charcoal grill for 20 quid down the road. I mean, probably wouldn't advise that, but actually for something that I have a coffin box grill, which I use for my kebabs, which is just like a rectangle grill, and that costs like 20 quid, but it's absolutely spot on for what I use it for. The skewers sit perfectly across it, flipping around on it. Bob's your uncle. He's not, but you know what I mean. He could be. And you got perfect kebabs from a 20 quid grill. So yeah, I mean, like, they each have their purpose and function. But I mean, you can pick up like a kettle from B&Q, like a B&Q branded kettle for, I don't know, 50 quid or something probably. And they work well. They do their job. They work all right. They do I know. I mean, I think it was Danny, Bristol Drum Smokers. Danny said he picked one up from Home Base or B&Q.
That was how he first got into it all.
And that was how he first got into it. He still uses it now, and he swears by it. So it's great.
I still have a cheap one that I bought from Focus before they went down the pan.
Oh yeah, sorry. There are other home hardware stores available, such as Focus.
They're not any. That's an incorrect statement, because Focus went bust.
Okay, ignore Focus, but there are other ones available, you know.
Home Base.
And there are other kettles available.
Yeah.
Right up to more sort of high-end ones, which would be your sort of Weber ones. A bit more technical, a few more features. But actually, I think you can get really good ones from loads of different companies.
Yeah.
And you actually started on a kettle.
Yeah. And loads of people do. I think because they're so flexible, you can do all of the stuff that you want to do on it. You can roast stuff on it. You can smoke on it. You can bake with it. You can do like everything just by learning the techniques. And I think that was the important bit for me at the beginning, was learning to use like that one thing in lots of different ways.
57, what do you have?
Yeah, I had the Weber 57.
Yeah, like with a 57, you can pretty much do like anything on it.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, like there's probably nothing you can't do on it. I have to be honest. There's probably, I mean, you start getting difficult when you have masses of food and stuff like that. It starts getting a little bit more difficult. And like if you...
I think we're getting on to types of barbecue, aren't we? So we may as well talk about that, really.
Are we? Okay. Or
we're
do we want to finish off charcoal? Or
what else have we got to say about that?
Well,
it's like you've always got your smoky flavour, haven't you?
Yeah,
like
flavour.
You've not got to worry about getting...
I mean, Matt Williams
boxes in there.
From
decent coal, and it's already smoky, isn't
it?
So
I mean, Matt Williams from Oxford Charcoal Company actually put that argument to rest with some scientific answers, and actually 100% you get smoky flavour from wood. Smoky flavour from, that was pretty
from
obvious.
Charcoal.
You get smoky flavour from charcoal, lumpwood charcoal.
Mm-hmm.
And you do.
Yeah.
I've always said it, 100%, and you do. And or especially from good quality ones. Maybe if they burnt all of the, if they took them right up to 100, I don't know, 100% or something, it wouldn't quite. But yeah, that sort of answers that question. So yeah, you get that flavour, which you don't get from gas. And is that it?
I'm happy.
We're going to move on there.
Yeah.
Okay, well let's move on to the types of barbecue then.
Yeah.
Let's get straight back to kettle where we were.
Yeah.
And as you said, like I didn't, but most people I speak to started on a kettle, includes you.
Yeah. And I think that they are awesome. And I think when I was... The only thing I wanted to change for was really to get that extra space. And when I was wanting to get really into smoking, I was looking, and all it was coming back to was the bullet-style smokers. So I kept looking around at those and debating, what do I do next? And looking at the like Pro Q bullet smoker, that kind of offered the base with the lid, almost gives you your kettle-style barbecue anyway. And then you've got that addition to add the bits on. So without buying like a full other Weber as well next to it, I thought that was a quite nice way to be able to have a little bit of everything in one unit. And that was what really convinced me with that. And it's got the water bath in it as well.
Yeah, so I mean they're actually
put water in, but
they
often do.
ProQ refers to it as a water smoker, but the reason why we're calling it a bullet here is because we both believe you don't need to use water with it.
No,
you could use.
I often do.
Yeah, I often do. Yeah, and I feel that water. I actually really like water, using water with mine, and you can. And what I actually often find is, I was doing the other week. I was doing like the hot and fast shorties, and with water in it, what I did is I know the amount of water that will evaporate out in an hour. And what that allowed me to do then is to then ramp the temperatures, because like the water sort of stabilizes it nicely. So then by the time I was ready to ramp it up, the water had evaporated out, or if it hadn't, you could have just lifted the water pan out and emptied it anyway. Yeah. And then that allows you to bring the temperature up a bit more, and like the water just helps you control the heat a little bit more, stabilizes the unit a bit more.
Do you boil your water before you put it in or not?
I don't necessarily boil it, but hot water. I use hot water, or else you don't need to. But then it just takes longer for your smoker to come up to temperature, because the heat source then needs to, the water sort of acts as the barrier. Then you need to heat the water up first, and then you get the temperature. So it just takes longer.
Yeah, a lot of people. That's kind of why I was saying it, really, because it's. I think what you just said there about the amount, how much water to put in there. Because if you put too much water in, you're waiting for a long time for that to heat up to the right temperature, and it's delaying your cooking time. So definitely. I often just boil the kettle and pour that straight in, so the water's already up to temperature, and it's not going to impact on that at all. Then.
And the nice thing is with them, with the doors, you can just top that up as you go along if you want to do a longer cook. A lot of people use like ceramic plates, or they use like the bottoms of, like when you're in like a another home sort of depot store or whatever. They have like the base plates for a lot of these big pots, big garden pots, terracotta ones. And you can actually just use the bottom of one of those. You could use sand, like fire sand, or
fire bricks.
Fire bricks,
like
pebbles people use. So there's like loads of different options for you to use there to sort of stabilize temperatures. Loads of different things to experiment with. I've used a few different things, and I continue to use a few different things. Depends on what I'm doing. But yeah, I mean, I think they're fantastic bits of kit at a great sort of entry price and built to last. Have you mentioned WSM?
No.
No, well, there's the Weber Smoky Mountain as well, which are similar to the ProQ units. Check them both out, guys.
It's always that lifelong debate, and everyone that starts out is always, oh, what do I buy? Yeah,
we're not going to get into that here, but yeah, the option's up to you guys. Great bits of kit. Fantastic, versatile smokers. They're built for smoking. They're not built to be kettles or anything else. They are actually built for smoking, and they're built to last. So great bits of kit, and yeah, let's move on now to offsets. So I guess sort of offsets have their place in the barbecue world, and I actually think that when I first started like looking into smoking, that's probably what I saw a lot of. Was like,
they just look awesome, don't they?
Yeah.
If you're watching like the big pit masters in the US,
and
that's
like
what you see.
Most of like the YouTube videos and stuff, a lot of them have like the big offsets. And if you've been to like a barbecue festival or like you go to, I mean, even in our local city, Plymouth, in the Christmas fair, there was a big offset in there.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, you see them around, and they sort of like maybe, I don't know, dominate the image of barbecue world maybe slightly. But
I think it's a more classic look of barbecue, isn't it?
Yeah, and they're great bits of kit, fantastic bits of kit. Some of the best barbecuers in the world and best barbecue joints in the world use them. My argument here is that for a entry level barbecuer, they're not great bits of kit, because one, to get a decent one, you need to spend a lot of money, and two, there's a lot of fire management. You need to constantly be managing a fire. Like, you can't walk away from the thing. You need to be there, really. It's a very involved cook. Whereas I feel that with the ProQ, with the bullet smokers or with the kettles, you can almost set them up and walk away, go in town shopping for a few hours or whatever, go in for a surf, and come back with the confidence that it's going to be there. Whereas you can't really tend to leave an offset. You need to manage the fire. I know a lot of people now are maybe starting to use some charcoal and stuff in there and try and manage it a little bit better. But yeah, and then that's my argument with an offset is, again, like, to buy the sort of ones you would be buying as an entry-level barbecuer, you'd be making a lot of mods on it, and there's loads of forums and there's loads of great advice for that. But if you're going to be doing that, I just feel that there's no point. You may as well go in for something else. Personally, that's my opinion, and I'm entitled to my opinion. And if you don't like it, well, I'm only joking.
No one likes any of your opinions anyway, mate.
No one likes my opinion. I'm just saying it anyway. And then
go UDS.
UDS, yeah.
So we've had Danny on. Ugly drum smokers.
Yeah, and they're fantastic bits of kit.
Yeah. Like similar style, really, having to like the bullet smoker, really, isn't it?
Yeah, so very, very similar bits of kit. They don't have the water bath. They've got a heat deflector plate, which is technically the same thing, really, except that you can't put any water in it, but you could still set a ceramic pot or something on it if you wanted to. Does the same job as a water pan, more or less. So you use it as a heat deflector. Yeah.
For more details on that one, just go back to our episode that we did with Danny, because he talks through the real ins and outs of it. And
again, there's different heights and stuff. You can put food out. You can put your firebox at different heights. It's another great versatile bit of kit, built to last. Those drums, I mean, last forever. Never going to go anywhere. And especially with Danny's sort of like protective liqueur paint on the outside. I'm sure they will be lasting for a very long time.
And looks awesome.
Yeah, it's almost a bit like you don't really want to use it because it looks too good. I'm jealous. I see them arriving. I'm like, wow, they look good. Some of the colours he's knocking out as well are absolutely phenomenal. Love it.
Then
great bits of kit. And just something to note there actually before we move on is that a lot of people say that they tend to cook a little bit hotter. So I think they sort of maybe sit around the 275 mark comfortable. Whereas a lot of the smoking tends to be around like the 225, 250 mark. Your sort of low and slow stuff, which is fine. But I've heard a few people say it now that they tend to sit a little bit hotter around the 275 mark. But anyway, that's just something to note there. And yeah, ceramics.
Yeah. So we've got the two main rivals, really, and we have the Big Green Egg and the Kamado Joe.
Yeah, and there's a lot of others available, like you got Monolith and Kamado and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, back to it. Big Green Egg and Kamado Joe.
Yeah.
Both amazing bits of kit.
Yeah. My experience is mainly on the Kamado Joe. So I've had that one for, what have I had, about 18 months now, I guess, haven't I? And that's really, really awesome. It's
and what have you got? You've got the Big Joe, haven't you?
No, the classic.
The classic,
yeah.
okay.
So it's like the middle one.
Yeah.
They have the small one and the real beast, but I
don't
like
know.
that one, but I don't think I can fit it through my back gate.
For me, like is it Baby Joe?
Yeah, I think so.
Baby Joe, Little Joe, Baby Joe. Oh, I can't remember. And then you've
Joe
got like
Jr.
the tiny green eggs. I can't remember their names because I'm not really a massive ceramic fan personally. Great bits of kit, but anyway, I don't really see the point in them unless you just want something to chuck in the car, ceramic-y, or like say you're cooking for yourself. You've got one chicken to cook or something. But if you're planning on cooking any more, those units aren't very big, and I don't know.
But often people do just cook one chicken, don't they, if you're just cooking your roast dinner.
Oh, I don't know. Well, I don't know about you, but I mean, I don't really know. But
It's
anyway,
just to conserving fuel's what the main thing is.
So I always
see
see
you don't want to be filling up.
yeah, no.
You've got to have a smaller one for that. I've thought about.
Say you got like a group of friends round though.
Yeah.
And like how are you going to cook on it? What are you going to cook?
Just get the other one.
hey, answer me that. Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to say. Is
I'd have
really you'd have to
if
enter
I had
in.
to have one, I'd have the classic. But if
I had to have one, I'd have a Big Joe.
It's too big though.
It's not, or an XL. See, with me, always like bigger is better though.
Yeah, I do want it. I want the big one, but
yeah,
just trying to it takes like 4 guys to lift it.
Or one Dan from UnitedQ.
No chance. Can even lift the lid.
Yeah, and you don't want to crack those babies, so yeah, definitely use more than one person.
And just plan it out in advance because it's not something you want to get home and suddenly be like, how
it's
am I
not like getting a Pro
out
Q where you carry the box through the house, put it down outside, put it all together. It's not like that, guys. It's a different experience.
Bit of a mission.
Yeah, but
and get it in position where you want it. Although mine's on wheels, it doesn't move. I just get it in the position.
And your garden's like 3 tiers high, so you can't get like wheeling that up.
Yeah. But it is awesome, like for like heat control and everything. For me, it's just so good. It lasts so long. Like it's very forgiving
because it's very, very well insulated. And what Ben was saying there, basically, once you get it to a temperature, say like you get it up to 225, you can actually scoop all of the charcoal out, and it's going to sit at 225 for. Not that you would do that, but you can actually take the heat source out of it, and the unit will sit at 225 for hours still. Like they're so well insulated.
Yeah, when I go and try and put the cover on after using it all day, I have to leave it for hours to cool down.
No chance. So
but it's very flexible as well. Like, it can be used for grilling. You can use it for smoking. So it's got very, very versatile uses.
Yeah, and like they ramp up very easily.
Yeah, and they get it really hot.
You get it really hot very quickly. You can go from like smoking something at, I don't know, like down at the 180 mark or even like 200 mark or whatever. You could be smoking something that's sort of really low, really low and slow temperatures. And then you can have it up at like 400, 500, 600, like within minutes, like literally.
Yeah, I've cooked pizzas in like 90 seconds with it like ramped up over like 500 degrees.
Yeah.
And it's just awesome.
And again, they're built to last.
Yeah.
They're great bits of kit, fantastic bits of kit. You'll buy one and it will last you to your great-great-grandchild's. I've actually, seriously though, I've actually seen people genuinely like pulling out their like, none of the brands you hear about today because they just weren't around then, but actually like these Kamado cookers, Japanese cookers have been around for like hundreds of years. And like there's guys that are pulling them out that was like his great-great-granddads and stuff, like still around, still working, great bits of kit. So yeah, built to last.
Yeah, and you got all the spares for it as well, so it's like easily replaceable for all the bits and stuff on there.
Yeah, on that note, I would like to pick up on a few things there. Kamado Joe, Big Green Egg, Pro Q, Weber.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Danny from BDS.
Bristol Drum Smokers.
I haven't had it confirm. I just haven't heard it confirmed, so I haven't heard it. Anything's gone wrong with them. But all of those companies mentioned, if anything goes wrong with your grill that you buy from them, your smoker you buy from them, their customer service is fantastic, and you'll get something back from them very quickly. You'll hear something from them, and you'll get replacement bits out very quickly. So, yeah, I mean, say you open your Kamado and there's a big crack in the lid, they'll get you a new lid. I mean, they'll sort you out in the unit. Same with ProQ. Anything arrives, any damage or anything's just slightly wrong, pick up the phone, guys. Their customer service is absolutely next to none. Weber, again, people always talk about sort of Weber customer service. Again, fantastic. They look after their customers. And as like I said, I haven't heard anything going wrong with the Bristol Dumb Smokers as of yet. So, and I don't suspect there to be, but I'm sure Danny would be exactly the same if there's anything wrong. So guys, you just feel safe buying any of those things with those brands.
Like when you're starting out and you're looking to spend some money on something, it is just looking at those bigger names to know you're going to get something that lasts you.
Yeah.
Because every barbecue I've bought of a quality that we've just mentioned, I still have and still use.
Yeah.
That first one I told you about that
you do hear horror
bought
stories
from Focus is now my just fire starter. It just sits at the back. It's rusted out, and
you hear horror stories about like some ceramics that have come from like China and stuff, and not saying that some of them aren't fantastic. I'm not here to slag anyone off or anything. We're here to spread the barbecue love. But you hear some horror stories, people paying, because the prices are so high, the ceramics, people paying like, this one's 500 quid, which is still like half the price of any of the sort of entry levels that you're going to get for anything else. But when it comes, it's got a massive like fracture down the ceramics on the inside, like head to toe, and it's like a waste of time. You try contacting the company and they just don't answer, and that's it. Like you've just lost. So it's like whatever you go for, it's worth investing in something of good quality with a good company, a well-known company, a company that their customer service is known to be excellent. And I know for a fact from personal experience, ProQ is fantastic. I know from Ben Weber is fantastic. I know from people that we know and we speak to that Big Green Egg and Kamado are great as well. The
guys at Kamado Joe are awesome. They always sort you out with whatever you need.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
What's next on the list?
I guess just before we move on from that, it's worth also bringing up the fact that all of those guys that are the bigger names have also all got accessories and stuff that go with them, which you might lack if you go down like another route. You might struggle to be like, I'd love to get a rotisserie or something like that. It's like, it's not going to fit.
Rotisserie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but like
I would like a rotisserie. That is another thing. Listening now,
when we're talking about stuff like that, when we're saying like, get a kettle, blah 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 blah. Yeah, there's about 1 million different types of kettles. So yeah, of course, if you're buying a Weber 57 kettle, then the accessories from a Weber 57 kettle aren't going to work on a B&Q 50 kettle. Like they're just not going to be compatible. They're just not going to work. Do you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, you have to bear those things in mind. Yeah, that's another thing to do is check out the sort of versatility, I would say, and how it's going to grow with you and what you can do with it. That's something that, like my ProQ bullet smoker, like I've never not been able to do anything on it. Never. Like there's not been one thing I've not been able to do. Whenever I've read anything or been flicking through, I don't know, social media and thought, I want to do that, I've always been able to do it.
Unless you run out of coal.
Ooh. Which brings us nicely on to
fuel.
So, briquettes versus lumpwood. I'm not going to go down this. We all heard me rant on about it a few times, haven't we?
Yeah. But we're not like dead against briquettes, really, are we?
No, actually.
Like there are decent briquettes, and I'm using some decent ones at the moment.
Yeah. And I
was a little bit like,
them up the other day, and I was like, I actually had a really good cook with them.
Yeah, but I think that's the point. I think that we've got to a point now where companies are investing properly in producing decent briquettes, and it's gone away of the days of. Well, it hasn't. There's still plenty of them out there. So
newsflash. There's a new one on the scene. The coconut shell briquette, which I've used a few times. Yep. Sneakily.
I'm using it.
Yeah, you use it in your cooker weekend. But yeah, that's actually on for sale now at the moment. Yeah. That's a really great briquette. And there are great briquettes. Great briquettes.
Easy for you to say.
People love, just to name a few, people love heat beads. People love the Weber ones. The Weber premium ones.
Yeah, Weber have just brought out a brand new briquette, I think, as well.
Yeah,
I
they
haven't
have.
tried it yet, but I did use Weber briquettes before in my 50.
They have the Weber Premium and the Weber. People love the Weber Premium. People love the heat beads, and they've just brought out a new one, the Weber, which neither of us have tried.
No.
And I've tried this coconut shell one, and there's also Big K have a briquette, which is like a hexagonal restaurant grade briquette,
grade one, isn't it?
which I really like as well. Really good burn on them. They come like really long tubes, like 50 centimeter tubes. But what I tend to do is break them up into like, I don't know, I'd say like 5 to 10, like 10 centimeter lengths. Break them all up. Just use your hand, just snap them off, move it along the tube. I'm doing like hand actions here in the studio.
Yeah, it's really helping me.
It's
but
really
no one
helping
else.
me. Yeah, you just snap it off and move it along, and then you end up with like really similar sized chunks, and you can like just.
I found
do
them
all the
really good
different
to like.
setups.
They burn for a really long time, but I found them quite tricky to light, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I think because of that, I didn't break them up small enough.
Yeah.
I think you need to do that.
Break them up,
lit.
get them in,
But I
then
quite
they
often
light
just chuck
nicely.
a big one in when I've already got like the rest of the coals going, just to keep it going for longer, because
they burn for forever.
ages.
Yeah. So
that's like briquettes, really. Obviously, we're just not into the cheap briquette which says fast lighting.
Never ever, guys. Do not buy Easy Light or Quick Light or any of that stuff, guys. They're pumped full of chemicals.
You smell it when you open the bag.
Yeah.
Don't you?
It's just no good, guys. Definitely do not go down that route. It's something I'm passionate about. Do not go down that route. There's natural ones around, like your Weber Premium and your heat beads. And what did I send you the other day? That was another one that I tried.
One as
well. There's the coconut ones from Pro Q. They have nothing in them. They are 100% natural. And I have no problem with them.
Yeah, we don't ever use them, and especially don't ever use them in a ceramic oven, because the ceramic takes on
it's like porous
flavour from what you're cooking from. If you put something chemically into that, the chemical is going to absorb into the ceramic, and all your food is going to taste of it. I saw on like the US, the Pit Masters program, there's one of the contestants on there who's using it. One of the Pit Masters on there. They didn't know that this big green egg they were using. They didn't know that anyone else had ever used it with like a firelighter fluid before. They just used it normally like they always do, but they got marked down in the judging because people could taste that it had firelighter fluid in it, but she'd never done it, and that was literally someone else had used it before her.
Oh, so be careful buying second hand
ceramics. Could be risky.
Yeah.
But yeah, in my ceramic, I only ever use lumpwood in that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that brings on to lumpwood then.
Yeah. And lumpwoods
Well,
comes in
should we
varieties
just
as well.
explain that a briquette is compressed, like processed and compressed wood.
Yeah.
Like we said, the natural ones are just compressed wood. The other ones that are available everywhere are compressed wood with all sorts of binders and chemicals and all the rest of it. So avoid those. Look for the natural ones.
Yeah.
And what lumpwood is the unprocessed natural wood that's turned into charcoal.
Yeah.
I had a great episode with Matt Williams from Oxford Charcoal Company. Check that out and you'll learn more than you ever need to know about charcoal. It was absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to speak to him soon and learn even more. But yeah, that brings us on to lumpwood very nicely. I'm a lumpwood, I don't know, ambassador?
Connoisseur?
Yeah, no, I do. I just love lumpwood. I love lamp. Do you know that? Yeah, I love lamp. I love lumpwood.
I love lump.
Right. Oh, he's now looking at my lump. That's weird.
This is jazzy.
Anyway, yeah. So...
But yeah, but again, you still want to go quality with this, because you can get cheap bags of lumpwood.
Yeah, I think the word to look out for is restaurant grade, guys.
Definitely.
It's a word that, again, I'd never even come across before I really got into the barbecue world, but
so
restaurant grade.
The size is what you're getting when you buy restaurant grade, really.
Yeah.
So less ash in the bottom of your bag and bigger chunks, which are hopefully going to burn hotter for longer.
And... again, like if you want to take another step up, like single species,
responsibly sourced,
sourced stuff. like I said, Oxford Charcoal Company, I've already said it 2 or 3 times now, but yeah, if you go on there, you'll be able to buy specific like single species wood, which you know, like sort of temperatures that it burns at, how long it will burn for, and stuff like that. So it makes it really easy to control.
And Matt there is just so dedicated to like making sure it's like sourced well, and he complies with so many rules, doesn't he, to make sure that you know that this is some really nice.
It's a real sustainable product
done sustainably. Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Ready to move on with that? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess once you've got your fuel there, you need to light it somehow. So we're going to get onto firelighters.
Yeah.
There's plenty of firelighters out there as well, which are full of chemicals, which again are going to pump unwanted fumes into your barbecue.
And there's always going to be people who pour on like lighter fluid or bloody petrol or I don't know, something on there. White spirit.
People, like, pour it on and set
I've seen
fire to
people
themselves.
put like white spirit and stuff on there and stuff like that. And that awful like white stuff that they squeeze out of the thing. So jazzy. And yeah, never ever ever do that, or never ever ever speak to me. Simple.
Yep. But on the like natural firelighter front, I guess there's a few that I've used, and you can actually get them from like supermarkets and petrol stations.
Flamers rock.
Yeah, Flamers are definitely my favourite ones. They're like, is it like straw that's sort of bound together in like a wax.
Yeah,
they last really good. They set alight really easily, and I just love using them. I've ran out at the moment, so I need to go and get some more.
And what are the other ones?
About 4 boxes in the last few weeks.
What are the other ones we use?
I don't really know what the brand's called now, but I've got
them
in like the petrol station. They're just like compacted.
Loads of
wood
petrol stations sell them, but they are 100% natural.
It says like natural firelighters on the packet.
And they're about like £1 a
Blaze?
pack. That rings a bell. Blaze, yeah. They're like £1 a pack.
Yeah.
And they're really good. Really good firelighters.
Yeah.
And yeah, so once you've got your firelighters, you can start a fire with just the firelighters. But again, I would advise that you get a chimney starter. Will make your life 100 million times easier. It's a sure fire start every single time.
Yeah. Saves you a lot of time. It's a lot quicker to get everything going. And it's cleaner as well, and you're not stacking up with your hands, getting all your hands in all the coal, making a mess. You can just pour as much as you need into the chimney starter. And I quite like the fact as well you can get like different size chimney starters as well. So depending on what you're doing, if you need like a really hot cook and you want a load of coal, you can fill up like a bigger charcoal starter and fill it right up to the top and then get all that going. But likewise, you can get like a smaller one, like a travel one or something like that, if you only want a small amount of coal. If you're doing like a minion method or something, which we'll get onto in a minute, you just need a little bit less coal to pour into the middle. So there's good ways of measuring, like you can kind of, like you do with your oven when you're knowing like, oh, if I open the vents to here, if I put the lid at this temperature with this much coal, you can get the same sort of standard with your fire starter of like knowing how much coal you're going to want to use and put in there.
Like half full gets me to this temperature, full one gets me to this temperature, a handful gets me to this temperature, and etc. etc. Yeah, definitely. I even use mine now to start my fire in my house. I have a coal fire in my house. I even use my chimney starter in the house.
It's a bit jazzy, but sometimes we even cook on it.
Yeah. What, in the house?
No.
Yeah. You have
on
the great
fire starter. You've got the grate on top.
Yeah. You have these awesome chimney grillers that are out now, and
I just use my vegetable tray on top of mine.
Yeah,
sometimes.
Vegetable tray on top of it, or whatever. Really, yeah. You could even just hold. I don't know, like a great thing, like on a skewer or something. You put across it, or there's plenty of options there. But that is a really really hot. It's like a vortex. You see a vortex around, and it sort of forms that vortex and pumps out some insane heat. Perfect for searing steaks and stuff like that. So yeah. You can cook directly on it, but revolutionised the lighting world for me. Chimneys.
I kind of forgot, but I forgot how good they were. Last summer I went away to Wales camping, and I just took my little
you take it for granted, didn't you?
I took my little Smokey Joe with me, which I keep in the car, and I didn't take a chimney starter. I just thought, it's all right. I remember I used to just roll up a bit of newspaper into balls and then pile it up and just light it and it'd be fine. Took me like an hour and a half maybe to get this fire to the temperature where I could cook on it. By that time everyone had got bored and gone back in the house. I wasn't not popular.
Yeah, no, still isn't now.
So I would never leave home without my chimney starter now.
Even brings it to work is really weird.
Or a blowtorch.
Yeah, well, that's another thing actually. Before we move on, there is another product, Luft Lighter, which is available.
Yeah,
which you can get. I wouldn't say it's necessary for starting and for like a starter barbecue, but
it's definitely a luxury item that gets you going a lot faster.
I don't even have one. That's how luxury it is, because I mean, I'm like one of like the best. But no, I'm really rubbish, really. But but yeah, anyway,
it's true.
I don't even have one. They are like sort of a luxury good, but they are awesome, and I've seen them in use. And maybe if you're like one of those really, really rich people starting off and wants to buy everything, just get a Luft Lighter. Why not?
Yeah. Definitely in the ceramic, because they're kind of like you can just poke it straight in there and get going. Yeah. Keep it clean, please. This is not an explicit podcast.
Oh,
jazzy.
Okay. I was being innocent there, but anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. We've recorded yet another awesome podcast to get you over Hump Day. As always, we are brought to you by ProQ BBQ Gourmet and Smokewood Shack, our awesome sponsors. ProQ is dedicated to providing quality smoking products with top-notch service and free advice for beginners to pitmasters.
What's wrong?
You're putting funny faces. Yeah. And you can find them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram under ProQ Smokers. So if you're thinking about buying your first smoker or looking to upgrade, or even look to pick up some epic accessories, check them out over at maxbarbecue.com. And BBQ Gourmet is devoted to promoting real barbecue and supplying the UK and Europe with the top championship-winning barbecue rubs, sauces, marinades, and accessories from the US and around the world. And you can find them on Twitter and online under BBQ Gourmet. So regardless of how you cook, whether it's on charcoal, wood, gas, or electric, the real taste of barbecue can be yours all year round. And Smokewood Shack delivers quality smoking wood every time. They provide the smoky goodness and you provide the talent. So if you are looking for smoking wood chunks, dust, chips, planks, or more, then head on over to smokewoodshack.com and you can find them on Twitter at Smokewood Shack. Thanks, guys. So that's goodbye from me and
goodbye from me.
See you next time.
Bye.